This picture shows where the T filler neck on my 2014 Dodge Avenger that's about 5.5 years old with 84,000 miles on it. This T filler neck ruptured and all the coolant came out while I was driving my car. The alarm chime went off on the dashboard and I saw a red warning light go off, and also my temperature gauge started to climb to all the way to the high mark. Very fortunately for me, I was about 3/4 of a mile from home and I didn't think it was a serious problem. I thought I had an instrumentation problem or maybe just a slow leak, so I drove the car home for about 3/4 of a mile. When I got home, I raised the hood and to my shock, I saw what had happened. The upper radiator hose had separated from the T filler neck. You can see here in this picture where the T filler neck just basically ruptured and came apart. When I took out the filler neck, I just pulled off the little overflow hose and stuck it in this hole off to the side of the car to get it out of the way. I got this part from Advanced Auto Parts 902-305. It's made by Dorman Products. When I checked the Advanced Auto Parts website, it said this part was not compatible with my car, but it does fit and I was desperate. It's the only choice I had, so I used this part. I don't recommend using it. I don't know why it's listed as being incompatible. Here's a picture of the new part. It comes with the brackets seen in the background. Here's the upper radiator hose with a portion of that old T filler neck left inside the hose here. When I tried to pry it out, it just immediately broke into pieces, so it was very brittle, ready to come apart. Here's the new and the old T fillers side by side. You see the hole in the pipe of the old T filler. That's when I put a screwdriver into the upper radiator hose and I tried to pry the hose out from around the T-fitting so I could get it out, and this hole punched through immediately with very little force, so this thing was very brittle. Side by side pictures of old T filler neck on the left, new filler neck on the right. Again, old filler neck on the left, new filler neck on the right. You can see the mounting base here. It's been rotated 90 degrees, the little rectangular foot that goes down into the pedestal. It's been rotated 90 degrees on the old one versus the new one. Also, the old one, the foot is just a little bit wider. Again, side by side view, old versus new, old left, new right. Again, side by side view, old versus new, old left, new right. New T-neck filler. This is obviously a different material. It's shinier than the old material was. Again, new filler neck seen here. Also, the little plastic mounting base does decouple from the filler neck. One additional word of caution, that's the throttle body down in the bottom, the silver colored metal box. That got doused pretty good with hot coolant when the hose blew. And here's a close-up shot of the throttle body. I don't know if that will have any effect long term. There are some other people that I know that have this car and their T filler neck also ruptured and it doused the throttle body, and it also took out the throttle body. So in my case, my throttle body's still working, but I'm thinking about changing it as well. Here you can see the pedestal where the T filler neck mounts. There's a square hole in the pedestal. That's what the little plastic hole from the T filler fits down into. Here's the new filler neck installed. I reused the old clamps because I didn't have a plier that was compatible to compress the new clamps down to where I could get them onto the hoses. So I just reused the old clamps for now. Here I'm topping off coolant with a Dodge Chrysler compatible coolant. It's the orange colored. I got this at Advanced Auto Parts. It's a 50-50 mix, pre-mix. I think it was about 16 bucks a gallon. Note, when I'm topping off here, I also tried to burp the system to get all the air pockets out of the engine. I did turn on the heat in the car, in the cabin, full blast, and I let the car run for about 3 or 4 minutes to help get all the air pockets out of the engine. That seemed to help because I did get some air pockets to come out by doing that. That's all for this video. I strongly urge, if you don't know the history of your car or if it's 4 or 5 years old, I would suggest changing this T filler neck, because had I been on the interstate, I could have easily blown up my engine, because when this happened, I didn't think it was a serious problem. I maintain my engine well. It's well maintained. So I thought it was just some little fluke or something. Maybe I had like a pinhole leak or something like that. I didn't know the thing blew off the hose and it lost like over 50% of the coolant. So this engine would have easily self-destructed had I kept, it would either shut itself down to protect itself, or I would have blown the engine up. So if you have one of these cars, you don't know what the condition of this T-filler is or when the last time it was changed, this T-filler neck, I strongly recommend to change it so you don't end up like me and potentially have a situation where you blow up your engine. Aside from that, the engine's very solid so far. I like the car. I wish it got a little bit better gas mileage, but it's a decent car. That's all. Thank you for watching.